Bill Gates needs no introduction. He's the co-founder of Microsoft and one of the richest men on earth. His net worth currently stands at about 137 billion US dollars. While he's an incredibly charitable billionaire, it doesn't mean that he shies away from spoiling himself from time to time. And when we say he knows how to spoil himself, we mean he goes all out. From a luxurious car collection enough to make anyone drool, to owning a private island, as well as having a state-of-the-art underground music system for a 60-foot pool. Please take a seat and relax, as we take you on a virtual tour of how the co-founder of Microsoft spends his fortune. In 1975, Bill Gates and his late childhood friend, Paul Allen, founded Microsoft, a company that has become a household name. It's quite amazing that a company started by two friends in the early 20s would turn them into millionaires and eventually billionaires. By 1987, at the age of only 31, Gates became the world's youngest ever billionaire at the time. In 1995, he was officially named the world's richest man with a net worth of $12.9 billion. How nice it must be to not have to worry about a single cent you can spend. Before we get into how Gates spends his fortune, we feel it's only fair to mention that he is a very charitable man as well. In the year 2000, he and his now ex-wife Melinda set up a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's a non-profit organization which aims to fight poverty, disease, and inequality around the world. He spends a great deal of his fortune through this foundation. In fact, he has even stated that once he dies, the majority of his fortune will go to the foundation. Which leaves the question, how much will his children actually inherit? We'll let you know a little bit about that later. While he isn't exactly known for throwing his money around, he does like to spoil himself from time to time. As mentioned earlier, he owns several top-notch properties you and I can only dream about. He also has a few private planes, yes, he has more than one, and an impressive luxury car collection. Gates is a very big Porsche fan, and as far as we know, his collection is centered around them. His Medina mansion in Washington apparently has a garage big enough to house 23 cars, which makes you wonder what the actual house has to offer, right? Keep watching and we'll tell you. Gates is such a big Porsche lover that one of his first big purchases after co-founding Microsoft was a Porsche 930. Since then, he has added several 911s and a very rare 959 to his collection. The 959 is so rare that only about 337 of them were ever produced. It reportedly came with a price tag of about $2 million US dollars and a lot of logistics. It's reported that the tech mogul had difficulty importing it into America because it didn't exactly meet emission standards. Also in his collection, he has a Porsche Taycan. It's an all-electric model and was showcased at the Frankfurt Motor Show in 2015. The Taycan Turbo has a price tag of almost double what the Tesla Model S holds, which means you would need to spend around $150,000 US dollars if you want to own this car. He also owns a semi-rare Ferrari, the Ferrari 348. A little over 8,000 units were produced between 1989 and 1995. It was also the final V8 model developed before the death of Enzo Ferrari. Something that's a little hard to imagine is how the car got its nickname. Apparently, it became known as Gates' dune buggy because he would often spin it in the sand. We guess even an IT billionaire knows how to have a bit of juvenile fun. Apart from these, Gates also owns a few Mercs such as the Mercedes S-Class and the 500 SL. He also has been seen driving around in a BMW 7 Series. Some reports even state he owns a Ford Focus. Though, when he travels greater distances, he does so in complete style, with one of his private jets. It is thought that Gates owns at least 3 planes, a Cessna 208, a Caravan seaplane, a Gulfstream G650, and a Bombardier BD700 Global Express. The Gulfstream G650 is an incredibly luxurious plane, and we're guessing that if offered a choice, Gates prefers this one for going on vacation, and not just because he spent $65 million US dollars on it. It is one of the world's most luxurious private jets that can circumnavigate the globe with just one stop. Besides being powered by Rolls-Royce engines, its interiors are completely unmatched in terms of luxury. It's extremely spacious, features some of the finest seats and the best of facilities for a comfortable flight. Depending on your needs, the interior can be divided up into 3 or even 4 living spaces. It can seat up to 19 passengers and can sleep as many as 10. Before we get to the details of Gates' properties, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. As for his Medina mansion, which is his main residence, and nicknamed Xandu 2.0, Xandu is the name of a large, lavish property that belongs to the tycoon at the heart of the film Citizen Kane. 2.0 refers to Gates' technological innovations. It's a dream home, to say the very least. Some of the features include a spa, a 60-foot pool with its own underwater music system, a gym paneled with stone from a mountain peak in the Pacific Northwest, a trampoline room, and a steam room for salmon, trout, and other fish. Because if you're the co-founder of Microsoft, you're going to want your salmon as fresh as possible, right? Gates is also a bit of a bookworm. His Medina mansion has an enormous library, which is home to, amongst others, the Codex Leicester and a 16th century Leonardo da Vinci manuscript. Gates bought it for $30.8 million at an auction back in 1994. Apart from being a car collector, Gates also appreciates art. His physical collection is said to include an oil painting named Lost on the Grand Banks by Winslow Homer, which he purchased for $36 million. His virtual collection is endless. By virtual, we mean he owns the rights to several high-profile art pieces in digital form. He displays on rotation at his Medina home on a 22-foot-long video wall. Makes sense, right? He was a pioneer in the software world, so why wouldn't he enjoy the finer things in life in digital form? Overall, the 66,000 square foot home situated on the shore of Lake Washington is estimated to be valued upward of $131 million. While the Gates have always enjoyed their privacy, a Microsoft intern who was allowed to view the property in 2007 wrote about his tour on the company's blog. He painted an incredible picture and wrote, "Going down Bill's driveway is like arriving at Jurassic Park. The landscaping is just insane." He also noted that the sand on the property's private beach was imported from Hawaii. Again, if you're the co-founder of Microsoft, then why not? Other properties owned by Gates include a private island called Grand Bogue Cay. It is a 314-acre island off the coast of Belize in Central America. He bought the island in 2006 for a little over $25 million. And yes, it has everything you'd expect a private island to have. It's a gorgeous tropical paradise with forests, white sand beaches, and some of the clearest water you can find. Then, there are his ranches in Wellington, Florida, in California, and Wyoming. Collectively, they are estimated to be worth upwards of $81 million. And finally, he has a wide variety of commercial properties which he acquired through his personal investment company, Cascade. While he owns nearly half of the Four Seasons Holdings hotel chain through Cascade, he also has partial ownership of Charles Hotel in Cambridge, Massachusetts. With a fortune as large as his, it's almost shocking to note that he has decided to leave each of his 3 children a mere $10 million when he dies. To us, this sounds a little strange, because why would you work so hard and amass such a fortune if you're not going to leave it to your children? Well, Gates sees it differently and says leaving kids massive amounts of money is not a favor to them. And we guess that if you look at it that way, it makes sense.